All right, you remember that promotional video I did on BevCanna, I think was her name. Beverage country, I think ultimately out of Canada. They've been making some pretty serious leaps and bounds lately. That is pretty interesting. Um, March 15th, so like 3 weeks ago, they announced a sales license partnership with Stigma Growth. They'll distribute BevCanna products to Canadian retailers coast to coast. What was that? A few days later, the 23rd, they added the right people to the team. Former high-level execs with Colgate and Unilever, they joined on board. 30,000 square foot area that they've devoted to manufacturing trace and other consumer packaged goods which don't have CBD or THC in them and are marketed to retail shelves. I guess they have a couple different products, some of the products that don't have that stuff in it, whatever. March 30th, so it's like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if that, they signed a white label agreement with State B Beverages. And not to be outdone, on March 31st, the next day, another white label agreement. And was that Enthusiasmus Inc.? The expansion is so rapid that recently the company announced that they have to floor it and scale it up. That manufacturing, that is, because they're not going to be able to meet the demand. And what was this other thing they got? Like just one thing after another. BevCanna's Naturo Group to expand trace plant-based and alkaline products into Asia Pacific markets. So I mean, this company's out of control right now. Just reading this news letter thing she sent me. So BevCanna Enterprises anticipates expanding into Asia Pacific, which they are, through its wholly owned subsidiary Naturo Group. After completing a comprehensive market, distribution, and partner assessment, the company intends to initially launch its portfolio of trace health and wellness products in the key markets of Japan, China, and the Philippines through multi-channel distribution outlets, including e-commerce, retail, and wholesale. With a combined population of 1.6 million people, or 21% of the world's citizenry. I don't think they meant million. Actually, it's a billion, 1.63 billion, actually. The three countries signify a substantial opportunity for BevCanna. The market's growth and prospective middle-class consumer base represents an ideal demographic for the trace products as consumers increasingly opt for healthier lifestyles choices, that is. The global, this is a new word that I realized, like pharmaceutical, well, they've got a nutraceutical market size is projected to reach $722 billion. That's US dollars by 2027, expanding at a compound annual growth rate of about 8.3% over the forecast period. Asia Pacific is expected to witness the fastest growth over the forecast period, particularly in Japan and China. The Japanese market is particularly suited for the introduction of the Trace brand, with its consumers having developed a decided preference for natural, health-conscious products. 2/3 of Asian consumers believe in superfoods and natural health products for treating ailments, representing a prime demographic for wellness-focused products. So some investment highlights they've given me. Decades of experience creating, branding, and manufacturing iconic brands that resonate with consumers on a global scale. Extensive proprietary consumer research has allowed them to develop an unmatched understanding of consumer preferences and buying behavior. World-class infrastructure, including 40,000 square foot HACCP certified manufacturing facility with a current bottling capacity of up to 210 million bottles per annum, and access to pristine alkaline spring water aquifer on site. Incredible. Innovative manufacturing capabilities and processing technology, including custom bottle forms, and water-soluble cannabinoids, we deliver a they deliver a diverse portfolio of product concepts for both in-house brands and white-labeled products. Proven direct-to-consumer e-commerce companies selling a range of natural health products, including nutraceutical and hemp-based cannabidiol products through North America and Western Europe, and or throughout North America and Western Europe, already generating significant revenue. Strong revenue guidance through multiple streams, including white labeling, joint ventures, licensing, brand building, and e-commerce direct to consumer. So this is, did I do this in February? Did I do this one in early March? I think it was in March. I think this was maybe in February. I did the initial one. And I told you this was that one that had those drinks and things that they were like infused with CBD and all that stuff. I'm like, oh man, I want to get some. And like, oh sorry, your little sorry state in Florida, we're not on the list. But there's a few states that are on the list. I'm like, son of a gun, I need to try to find out how to get some of that. But I looked and I mean, no one's gonna just sell it to you. You know, not in Florida. You got to be on the good state list apparently that allows it. So I wasn't able to get any, but I'm kind of hoping I could find some way of getting some. Like, listen, I did a little promotional video. Could you send me a little package deal? Let me taste some of those sodas out, see how good I like them. Whatever they were. I don't even know if they were actually soda technically, but the good stuff was inside of them. So anyways, just an update. This is probably going to be something that really takes off, I think, because again, they're doing other things, you know, other health food type things, mostly in the beverage industry. So again, people are taking their health a little more serious these days. All these different diets like keto. I've done keto before, you know, trying to keep out the breads and the sugars and that kind of stuff, and just keeping out, honestly, the breads and sugars. You will have life-changing results. If you have any issues of trying to lose weight, you can't lose weight, but you still eat that stuff, you go off that stuff and you'll be dropping weight pretty quickly, actually. But again, we've all heard about CBD, cannabis, things like that have been used as plant-based medicine for a long time, like way before modern medicine. And when something like that's infused in a drink and the drink tastes good and, you know, that kind of thing, like, that's the best way to do it. Because if you ever try taking that stuff normally, like that one guy, I forget his name, that had that protocol. He was using little, not crackers, Oreos. He'd take the Oreo part, the cream side, and the other one, just toss it, and then just left with a piece of the black Oreo. And he'd put a little dab of that CBD or you know, THC, whatever, from marijuana, and he'd put it on there. And he's like, because you just can't. It's just nasty. It's just too powerful. It's too nasty. But that was the guy that was, you know, taking it for his cancer and other stuff, and super positive results. Can't think of his name, that particular guy. But anyways, I love this kind of stuff. So it's good news. Companies moving and shaking. Take care.